Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Island Rally for the 19th race in the 2020 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. We're getting ready for 14 laps of action at the Island Rally circuit on Long Island, and I'm joined by New Jersey native Vince Freeze.
This is a special track for me, very close to where I'm at. But let's see how these truck drivers, with some jumps and a pretty simple fuel strategy, handle this racetrack.
This is the second road course race in a row as we close in to the end of the regular season. Armory Digital next week, but today just as much of a wild card race for these Truck Series drivers, as we've officially got 6 guys locked in. Henry Sanford, Carter Friesen, Yael Carrillo, Edwin Mendez, Jeremiah Duane, and James Ellison are all high enough in the points to where they cannot fall out of the top 25 in standings, no matter how they do these last 2 races. And we have had 10 winners on the season to this point. So with 2 races left, we will have a max of 12 winners in the regular season. So everyone with a win so far is pretty much locked in. They just have to stay in the top 25 in points. So some of those drivers not yet locked in would include your pole sitter here, Donovan Cage, Andrew Rich, and Colt Baker. I believe those are the only 3 with wins who are not officially locked in, and that's because they're not high enough from the 26th place position in points. Anyways, let's get to your starting lineup before we go over everything else. Dylan Thomas starts second. Cole Baker, Greg Torres in row 2. Fitzwater Sr., who won at Sandy Flats part-time basis, this is his 6th start. He and Nate Rogers are in row 3, so 2 part-timers there. Row 4 is Andrew Rich and LJ Toledo, who you can barely kind of see here. And then behind them is Ibrahimian and Logan York, 2 guys outside looking in to get in on points. Let's look at the points picture right now. The 3 guys in is Sam Young, Keith Rich, and Leland Fief. Sam Young is 82 points above the cut line, Keith Rich 56, and Fief 6 points ahead of RJ Bishop, who's the first man out. Logan York 13 back, Jesse Turner 26, Ibrahimian and Colt Hudson 37, Michael Markle 43, Toby McCoy 47, and Adam Flickinger a total of 50 points out. Audra Baranowskis with her win, 30th in points, 12 points back from 25th.
Drivers, start your engines!
As the pace truck peels off, a couple of things silly season-wise to discuss. Vince, you got that up there for me?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have you up there. We have a new potential. Looks like trucks and JPTS officials have revealed the top drivers in points at the end of the regular season. We receive hot seat offers for a 2020 DSCS showdown that precedes the All-Star race. A total of 9 rides are being reported as available to those who are strictly running JPTS. The move is being made to increase the field size and allow JPTS drivers to show what they're made of against the Cup guys in a one-off event. Great move. Really gets to show these guys talent. And we got some people who really can do it. We have Fitzwater today's race and a couple other cuppers, so we'll see what's good.
Yeah, some Cup guys getting the Jerky Pro Truck Series guys to show what they're made of all season long, but running the showdown for the Digital Storm Cup Series will really give them a good shot. You've already got guys like Carter Friesen, who's won 3 races here in the Truck Series. He hasn't won in Cup. He's been running in the Cup Series the whole season. Him, Logan York, some other guys have been running both series, so those guys who are already running Cup will already be in the showdown regardless. But the guys who are not running the Digital Storm Cup Series at all, if they're high enough in the points at the end of the regular season, it's the pre-playoff forming points. So it's not if you make the playoffs you're in, it's the pre-standings before that reformatting. So even if you're 14th in points and you don't make the playoffs, you could still get that hot seat offer. Pace Truck's going to pull off on the pit road. We'll get to some other stories later in the race as Donovan Cage and Dylan Thomas will lead him down the front straightaway hills. Green flag is out, and we're underway at Island Rally.
Cage with a nice start there. Dylan Thomas. So he's going to power it on the outside, though.
Thomas with the better start. It's right there at that last jump. And Thomas will clear for the lead.
key here is you don't want to get off into that litter, as I like to say. That's sand out there. Oof.
And that sand will bog you down. We have not been here since 2017 as one truck is around that looks like it was Gene Sanford.
So we got some letters in the sand as Thomas leads. Oh, Greg Torres underneath with Baker, his teammate.
And Greg Torres and Cole Baker will pass Donovan Cage for second and third. Camera angles are going to be tricky here today.
There's a bunch of trees. It's like Fitzwater's around Cage.
And it doesn't look like Cage has the race-pace truck. He really set down a blistering lap time in Q. Ooh, and Mendez gets off into the sand. That could be dangerous. Oh, they're
Cage,
3 wide in front of him.
Yeah, something's up with Cage. He looks like something that happened last week. Yael Carrillo, he's just falling back. Let's hope it's nothing terminal.
And he is
he's
really falling back, man. He is not up to pace at all.
I think something's wrong. That thing's slow in the straights and the corners. Sam Young, one of our trying to lock in guys, is Cole Baker looking to battle his teammate Torres for second.
So it's a rookie top 3. Thomas leads, Torres second, and Cole Baker third. Fitzwater fourth, Nate Rogers fifth. Baker making a move as, yes, Cage, I believe, just dipped the pit road. And what is Max Anderson doing? Edwin Mendez. Might want to get it off of there.
Edwin Mendez is still on the grass.
Oh, this is not looking good at all. There's
He's
James
got to get off
Ellison.
there. Oh,
He's really in the sand. Jeff Toledo.
he's sand riding. You can just see that sand just slows down the car. His truck, it's just nothing you can do.
And it looks like he hit one of the jumps on the front straightaway wrong. Whoa, some people just disappeared in the trees. And I think one of them was Audra Baran-Auskas.
That could be bad for her playoff hopes.
Indeed it was. There she is.
Someone else.
Jeremiah Dwayne.
In the trees.
Let's see. There's Donovan Cage. He's off of pit road. As that is Elijah Gordon, I believe. He is on pit road. His truck might be done.
I'll have to look at that later. Back at the front, Tom, there's Cage.
There's Gene Sanford. We saw her spin on the first lap. And this is a trouble spot right here, Vince. I've seen cars flip here in the past.
Flipping, got that flip counter still up, so we'll see what happens from there.
RJ Bishop is not doing so hot right now. We'll look at the back of the field to see where everybody is running. The same can be said for Leland Fief. So that could open the door for the other guys outside looking in, like Jesse Turner, Delon Ibrahimium. And not really for Colt Hudson. He's down there. Adam Flickinger's down the order. You see, everyone's trying to find the lane around as Larry Hagan and Priya McShane are heading down pit road. We watch Carter Friesen passing Benjamin Ice for position.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's just searching. I mean, this is a track where there's really no distinct grip. It's just find the line and get hooked up.
And Friesen, it looks like he's kind of on the move. We'll have to wait and see, but he's up to 23rd. Or no, 22nd now, rather. We peek into the top 20. There's Keith Rich running in 18th. Sam Young is up to 8th. So we see some trees.
Yeah, camera angles, like we talked about earlier.
Junior Motorsports drivers racing side by side. James Ellison, Lucas Catano. Ellison locked into the playoffs with that win back at Bristol Dirt. By the way, we never talked about the practice and happy hour, guys. Peter Onjak, fastest in practice. He started 22nd, and he's on the bumper of Jesse Turner for what I believe is 15th. Fastest in happy hour was Zach Rogers in the 2 truck. He is still down the order where he started. And we were mentioning before the race, Vince, a one-stop event. These guys cannot make it the full 14 laps on fuel. As LJ Toledo has gotten stuck. Yael Carrillo's doing the same, and several drivers are coming down pit road.
Toledo off the grass? think he is.
I think he got back on it. He did.
Logan York in front.
Logan York running in, I believe, 9th place. No, wait, it could be 10th. I think Max Anderson just passed him and LJ Toledo for position. As Sam Young is looking to pass Greg Torres. Torres has fallen from 2nd place.
Something happened to Greg. I think he might have been shoved off by Cole Baker.
So we move up the order. Delon Ibrahimium in 6th. Andrew Rich 5th now, I believe. Maybe looking to make a move on Nate Rogers for 4th. Fitzy's 3rd. Baker's 2nd. And Dylan Thomas leads this thing. As you're seeing drivers, yeah, they're coming down. It might be because of accidents. It might be because of... They might be just thinking we might as well pit now.
This would be a very interesting short pit call. Watch out.
There's really no point to taking tires here, but we'll have to see how it works. Speaking of Jerky Pro Truck Series news, Bulldog Motorsports has announced they will be fielding a 4-truck team in 2021. Drivers at this time are unknown, and Nate Rogers will peel the pit road.
Well, this is a little different. We have to check this strategy. Oh, Torres is coming, and those guys really weren't in accidents. So we have a development on strategy.
And this could all be strategy related.
I'm surprised. I mean, you don't really need tires to really fuel and go. I mean, okay.
It is an interesting call despite being on a dirt track, but perhaps they want tires that have been sitting out here on the asphalt that have been getting hot from the sun. The 4-tire stop for both of them, I believe.
I guess they're looking for scuffs.
Edwin Mendez and Yael Carrillo came down as well.
All right, so now we just got to watch every lap, see who's coming in, because we have a couple different strategies. There's another one.
There's Cody Rose. I think he might have got spun from something because he's way back here. But there's Donovan Cage. Remember, he fell way back. He came out ahead of Mendez.
I think Cage needs to make 2 stops, though. You lap 1, I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I feel like he pit for a mechanical issue, not for fuel.
Yeah, he's going to have to come again. There's Thomas.
Baranowskis, though, with a poor run right now. Sam Young up the 5th. So see if any of the top 5 come in. So far, it looks like it's Dylan Thomas's race to lose. No one really closing in on the 25.
No, they're just staying out.
No one from the top 5 will come down to pit road. Max Anderson making a move on Ibrahimium.
Gotta watch this jump right here.
That is for 6. Jack James will come down pit road.
So we do have a couple varying strategies. Another one.
Jeff Toledo, Logan York is inching his way up that hill. That is
He's
not
on
good.
the hill. He's on the hill.
Oh, I think he's good. Oh, and he's going to get run over by Peter Onchek. Lucas Catano gets involved. Oh, my goodness gracious. Catano.
There's a flip.
The freeze flip counter strikes again. And Lucas Catano's race is over.
Peter Onjak pretty much has ended his chance to get in the top 10 with that one. That was a scary wreck there.
We had liftoff.
Oh, Dwayne and Ellison.
And now contact with Dwayne and James Ellison.
Maybe the tires are wearing off and we're not aware.
I mean, it's very unnoticeable at that on dirt, I have to say.
Now second's bunching up behind Thomas. Oh, Rich around Fitzwater.
Oh, yes, indeed. Andrew Rich is up to 3rd. Who's got the fastest lap time today? Oh, it looks like it's Sam Young, Fitzy,
and Rich.
Dylan Thomas has only run a 38.6.
I'll tell you what, they're gaining on Thomas. He might have
There is some fall off. Surprisingly.
They're on him.
Andrew Rich is looking for 2nd place from Cole Baker.
Oh, contact.
And Thomas is going to pit right in front of him. Ibrahimium's on pit road. Battle for the lead between Andrew Rich and Cole Baker. Andrew Rich will take the lead. Baker's looking to cross him right back
Cross him over. What a crossover.
Sam Young moves into third right behind.
Sam Young trying to pull the win today.
How about Andrew Rich? 2 wins on the season, Daytona and Martinsville.
Looking for 3 here at Island Rally.
And Andrew runs at local short tracks in his spare time. Dirt short tracks at that, so he knows what he's doing on the dirt. This is nothing new to Andrew Rich.
This is his playground, as I like to say. Is Young all over. Full big.
Max Anderson's been really moving through the field. I think this guy might be a threat to win.
Battle for second, Baker. Young.
Sam Young will take the position, I believe.
Barring something crazy. Yeah, you got it. It's Fitzwater.
Now Fitzwater looking for it around the left side.
Still hanging tough there. Here comes Max Anderson, though. So we'll go back to Rich.
And we'll see, is Andrew Rich going to pit here at the halfway point?
Well, obviously we have a lower fuel window. I guess it's a one-stop race still if they pit 7.
And there is some fall off, so taking 2 to 4 is a bit of a strategy. Rich is going to stay out here, but Sam Young
and the rest.
Baker and Fitzy come down. Carrillo has visited pit road another time, so I think
he's had an accident.
I think that is damage related for the 18, but a lot of people are coming in this time by.
I like this call. Halfway, split it in 2. It's a good call.
Yeah, there's a whole ton of trucks coming to pit road.
Gaggle of cars here as we watch Jesse Turner.
Gaggle of trucks at that.
Oh, yeah, trucks.
And speaking of other news, this is the last tidbit of news for the day. Teams were told, well, not told, but it has been heard in the garage area that teams could expand or shrink their field size of cars or trucks depending on the success of their drivers year to year. So, for example, Team Penske, which is the 2, 22, and 21 in the Cup Series this year, if they do good enough, they could expand to 4 cars. And the opposite is true. If they do poorly enough, they could shrink to 2 cars. But it's a case-by-case basis. Vince, what do you think of that?
I think it's a good move. I mean, some operations are ahead of some operations, as I like to say, but I don't know. You know, maybe the more cars, the more data, especially for these truckers. You know, you want as much data to help your team grow, and we'll see. I don't know.
And one case of a team that might be shrinking back is GMS Racing. They're fielding 5 trucks this year.
Yeah, that might be a little excessive.
4 of them are full-time. Keith Rich, Andrew Rich, Audra Baranowskis, and Dylan Thomas, as Ace and Zach Rogers split the 2. But with more Cup time, more Cup teams are trying to merge into the Truck Series. Some of those numbers Cup teams would probably want, such as the 2, 21, and 24. But GMS Racing, Rich has done well. Baranowski's got to win. Keith Rich is doing well, so I would think at least 3 of these trucks will be back next year. It could also depend where the 2 places in owner points between Zach and Ace Rogers. So far, the only driver who hasn't been performing extraordinarily well is the 25 of Thomas.
We know Thomas is doing well today. As here they come. Speaking of Thomas.
Rich will come out of pit road as the leader. Sam Young was in front of Thomas when he came out of pit road, but Thomas has the warmed up tires.
Oh, James is off.
Jack James is up here on the track, but he will lose several positions running into the sand as Baker's looking to pass Jeremiah Dwayne.
I think Rich is going to have problems getting those tires up to speed because Fitzwater and Baker were just slow and noticed that their tires were not up to speed. Track temperature. There we go. There it is. Tires are just not up to temp yet.
Well, remember, we did see about a second of fall off on that first run. It'll depend how much time Thomas gains here.
But now Thomas is going to have the older tires, and Young will probably say, oh, well, contact.
Sam Young looking for second place on Andrew Rich. If he can pass the 23 before they hit the start-finish line, that would be about when these tires for Rich will have heated up. Sam Young all over him. Looked like he might have pushed him through the corner there, Vince.
We've seen some crazy things today.
Let's go back to fourth. It's Cole Baker. Good run for him. Battle for fifth between Ibrahimian and Jack James. We've seen at the front recently. Ever since that pole at, I believe, North Wilkesboro, we've seen Jack James near the front. Let's see, order will be reset, and Jeremiah Dwayne has to pit. I think he pit too early.
Yeah, if you pit lap 5 or something, you might be scratching your head there on that one.
Jack James 6th, Fitzy 7th. Turner is running 8th. Great run for him. Friesen 9th, and Bradley Ream is 10th. As Turner is one of the guys hunting on the points battle. Speaking of said points battle, let's take a look at where everyone runs. Sam Young 2nd. Keith Rich is, oh wow, where did he go? Keith Rich is down to 27th. Catano. Oh, something happened to Jean Sanford at some point. She's out of the race.
We'll have a look at that later.
We still have to look at the Elijah Gordon incident. So all of that will be looked at post-race. Perhaps, I think a lot of people that are more than a second back have pit a second time. It looks like something might have happened to Edwin Mendez.
Either that or just pit, yeah.
Some guys are pitting again and again. Whether for damage or just they're not getting fuel filled up. Carrillo, this is like the third time I've seen him on pit road. Thankfully for him, he is locked in. There's Donovan Cage. I think this is scheduled. I could be wrong, though.
Pit at lap 2. I mean, coming to lap 2. If that's the case, Dylan Thomas was the earliest of the leaders to pit, so we might have to watch his fuel. There's Rich. His tires were heated. Here we go.
And Rich is making the move on Sam Young at 4 to go. Ibrahimian is going to get by Cole Baker.
Got help with Fitzwater, almost pushing him.
Now we're all focused on these leaders, but if these other drivers that are slower keep pitting, they could get in the way. And here's a key example of Larry Hagan in the 97. Or not Larry Hagan, Logan Gentry. I've been mistaking the 97 a lot this year. And I feel like the reason could be is the 97 was at a front a lot last year with Hagan in the truck, and this year with Gentry in the truck, it is Logan Gentry in the truck. I've just been mistaking his name, or the driver of the truck rather, on and on again.
Yeah, we apologize for any Larry Hagan fans out there.
But it is Logan Gentry in the truck. It's just, yeah. Sam Young kind of got held up by him a lot there. That's going to allow Rich to drive away.
Yeah, Rich is driving away. I think Thomas is starting to lose some pace. So this is where the tires are going to come in for Rich's. This battle right here with Fitzwater, Baker, James, Turner. Ibrahimi up ahead on Gentry.
Ooh, Jack James pushing Cole Baker out of the way.
Yep, Jack James.
Those are some Thor Sport teammates right there in the 13 and the 41. That could be another potential 4-truck team that could downsize, as they have a lot of numbers that people want. Hendrick, particularly the 88. Well, in the Truck Series Junior Motorsports, they're called. And then, of course, the 41. Haas Racing might be thinking about coming in as Sam Young is pit.
Uh-oh.
Could that be damage related? No, he's taking tires. And a third place effort. Donovan Cage is in again.
That's championship implications right there. I don't know.
If Andrew Rich wins, it'll save Sam Young. But if Dylan Thomas wins this race...
Oh, boy.
Looking at the point standings, Thomas sits right at 25th in the points. He's 3 points ahead of the cutoff coming into today's race, but if he wins today, that would give him a big boost. But I don't know, man. Andrew Rich has just suddenly closed the gap.
Yeah, it's the tires. It's those fresh tires. I think he's coming. I think Thomas is in duck unless we get, like you
look
said,
at that. It's
those lap cars.
0.6 of a second difference the last time by.
He's a sitting duck. I mean, the only way he's not is we get some lap cars, and Ibrahimian and Fitzwater are starting to pick it up a little bit too.
And how about Ibrahimian? This is a great run for Ibrahimian. He came in 37 points back of the cutoff line, which is Leland Fief, and Fief runs 33rd. RJ Bishop was not doing too much better as Rich is peeking for that lead. Where is RJ Bishop?
Rich got a little loose there.
I cannot find the 98. Is he a lot higher than I thought he was? He is up to 19th, actually. Okay, RJ Bishop is doing good today.
Rich is all over Thomas, though. Look at this lead.
2 laps to go at the line. And it's GMS Racing fighting it out for the win. Andrew Rich wants another 5 playoff points.
We got a lapper ahead.
Who is that lapper? Real quick, it's
It's
Yael Carrillo.
Yeah. His tires aren't at the temperature. They might catch him. I don't know, though.
Thomas.
Man, Thomas is blocking.
He's holding him off for now.
He's parking it in the corner. I'm seeing him just park it on the center of the corner and just not allowing anyone to make a move.
When does Rich get tired? When's he going to get tired of this, Vince?
Last lap. If he's not doing it this way, he's just feeling it out. Playing. Oh, he got a little loose there.
Oh, that might be just trying to get some clean air to the nose. You see,
Right, he is.
dives
now
it in.
Peek a little bit. Is he just feeling out where the truck is good for Thomas and he's going to make a move? There
There it is. There's the move. Oh, but Thomas blocked him a little bit. That hurt Rich's run. And I don't think Rich wants to wreck his teammate either.
No. Well, you don't want Mr.
There it is
GMS
again.
Oh!
Side by side, coming to the white flag.
This Thomas side draft. This is Sam Young's playoff hopes right here. As we get to the white, it's going. What? Look at that finish.
Imagine if that was the checkered flag. That would have been something. But
Is there anybody up ahead? No one's up ahead. This is it.
and into the first corner. Rich will
And
take the
Thomas
lead.
is-
Now will Andrew drive away from his teammate? This is what Sam Young needed to see. Another repeat
Flickens
winner.
are up there.
There's Ibrahimian. There's Barana-Auskas a lap down. She is going to finish somewhere 35th or worse. It might be over for Barana-Auskas unless she gets a miracle at Armory Digital next week.
That's going to be a wild race, but here we go to the final sections. Rich over Thomas.
Still about half a lap to go. Thomas, I just don't think he's got the grip on the dirt to do anything.
Those fresher tires for Rich came in late. Overcut worked. This right-hander. Let's get down the back straightaway.
And Andrew Rich, man, he hasn't won since Martinsville. But
he's
coming
gonna
into
change the
Island
script.
Rally, he's going to be the third 3-time winner on the season. Over the final jumps, coming to the checkered flag, it's Andrew Rich at Island Rally. And Dylan Thomas will come home short in second. There you can see the difference. Rich gained about 8/10 on him that lap.
Those fresher tires definitely played a role.
And Jesse Turner is falling down the top 10 as something might have happened to the 41.
I'll have to look at that later. Oh, yeah, he fell out.
And Zach Rogers finishes in 10th place after running near the rear all day. Official top 10, Rich in the win. Thomas second, Ibrahimian third, Henry Sanford fourth, Fitzwater fifth, Max Anderson sixth, Jack James seventh, Cole Baker eighth, Bradley Ream ninth, and Zach Rogers 10th. Ellison with a 12th place result. Michael Markle gets 14th. And yeah, Jesse Turner, I believe, got wrecked out here at the end. We'll have to double check. If you don't see a replay regarding Jesse Turner, that'll mean we have no idea. It could have just been a pit stop. Sam Young will still finish 18th after pitting late, Vince.
I think that's good. Well, he got saved by two things, right? The Rich win, and then some guys I think had a pin in front or had an accident. So that's a good recovery drive.
RJ Bishop ends up 15th, so Sam Young doesn't lose much to him there. Sam Young might be locked in on points right now. We'll have to double check the standings.
Now they're official
The point
standings.
the point standings after the race, but if Sam Young is a full race ahead of Keith Rich, which actually I don't think he would be because Keith finished 25th. But Sam Young could be looking very, very good for Armory, even if he doesn't win.
We all know what Armory Digital can do, so he's definitely feeling a little more comfortable than, let's say, somebody like Baranowskis or even Dylan Thomas, who needs to get a win at this point.
Logan York, your 2019 champion, finishes 20th. He has not won in 2020, and he's outside looking in for the playoffs. Will the defending champion make it next week at Armory Digital? Leland Fief, 29th. Greg Torres, Nate Rogers, guys we saw at the front, and Turner might have blown up. It says valve. Oh, that is a costly blow for him. He was looking at a very good finish. Baranowskis, 34th on the day. Cage, 38th. Problems right out of the gate for the pole sitter. And then, of course, others, Gene Sanford, Lucas Catano, Elijah Gordon, all DNFing from today's event. So without further ado, Vince, it's time for you and me to go look at some replays.
Here we go.
All right, so we're looking at what took Elijah Gordon out of the race. Now, we saw part of this accident at the corner of my eye. It starts with Jeremiah Dwayne bouncing off of Baranowskis and then gets into Gordon. All three get together, and look at the air Elijah Gordon gets into the trees. And then, boom, right into that barrier wall protecting people from the ocean. Jeremiah Dwayne slides into it as well. Baranowskis, she's all right. She stops the car, but she got a terrible result regardless. But that is what happened to Elijah Gordon. My goodness gracious.
Airtime 100.
All right, this is what took out Gene Sanford from the race. Looks like she wanted to pit, but she committed a little too late. Yeah, she didn't make it.
And into that barrier.
Good thing nobody was coming. Right into the freaking racetrack she went. Goodness me. All right, we saw this in real time, but we're going to look at it again. There's Onjak getting into Logan York. Turns him into Lucas Catano. And oh boy, can you say liftoff. Right here.
Whee!
Wow, what a view.
That's airtime of the year right there, and Dave's going to do a famous freeze flip.
I'm surprised he didn't just start barrel rolling violently the second he landed.
Oh, he did a little bit.
And James Ellison waved goodbye.
Sticks the landing
To his teammate, but a tough break for Lucas Catano. Junior Motorsports said it a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago now. If their drivers don't do well, they'll find new drivers. Not really Catano's fault there, but a bad result once again for the 9 car. Let's actually take an onboard with him. On board with the number 9 Mountain Dew Baja Blast Chevrolet. Wow.